Happy hump day, my beautiful candy canes, and welcome back to the candy shop. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, here to bring you my unique perspective on all things reality TV, pop culture, skincare, beauty, and self-care. That's right. So let's get into it. As you come into the room, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this because a good kiki is always good with some community. That is right. And so today we're going to be talking about the first episode of the second season of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It's going to be good. It is going to be a good season. I am super excited about it. So as you guys come in, be sure to drop me a note in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know your thoughts on the last season's episode and where you want me to start and what your ideas are so we can collaborate and have a good kiki. All right, so let's just jump into it. So the episode started out with all of the Jen Shah mess, right? All of the Jen Shah mess, all the stuff going on with her. And it just got me really excited for the season. It got me really excited for the episode. It got me really excited for the season. And I can't wait to see what happens with that. I thought all the girls were bringing really good fashions. I think all the girls look really good. Any work that they may or may not have gotten, I think has been tasteful and looks really good. I think the clothes, Mary obviously sometimes can be a little bit over the top, but that's okay. That's okay. Mary can be over the top. That's fine. But I do think that the majority of the girls are bringing good fashion. So let's see. Okay, so I love that Jen was honest about the Shah Chalet not actually being hers. So I was happy that she admitted that she was leasing it. She was like, all good things was coming to the end. The chalet we were renting, and now we're renting a new one, Chalet Part 2. And I actually thought that Jen's family was really sweet. And this is where it's hard because now that I know all of the bad stuff that Jen allegedly has done with like frauding people and hey Sumai Singh, she says hello Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey sweetheart, hey Sumai Singh, what is up? How are you? Thank you for coming through. That's right. Candy Canes, as you come into the room, I'm just giving a quick recap of everything. Be sure to, yes, Brenda. Hey, Brenda. She goes, hey, my love. Hey, what is up? Yes. She goes, am I on time today? Yes, you are right on time. We are just getting started, you guys, my candy canes. We are just getting started. Hey, beautiful Misty. She says, hello, all candy canes. Hello. What is up? What is up? Yes, we are just getting started, and it's going to be a really good season. Oh, Lala Chanel. Hey, beautiful. She goes, hey, Candy. Hey, Candy Canes. Hey, Lala. How you doing, sweetheart? How are you, beauty? Yes, hello, everybody. That's right. As you come in, like, subscribe, and share, and say hello. Drop your candy canes. Hey, Velda. She says, hello, Candy Canes. Hello, Velda. How are you, sweetheart? What is up? Yes. Okay. So let's get into it. Oh, Brenda says, let's get this going. Like the video. That's right. Let's get this going. Like this video. Let's get into it. Let's get everything just good and jazzed. Okay. So what I was saying was, and let me know if you agree, I'm finding it really hard because I'm finding it hard reconciling two things. One, I really like Jen Shah. I know she's crazy. I know she can be combative, but I like her. But at the same time, it's hard because of everything that she has allegedly done, with this telemarketing fraud scheme and defrauding all of these people out of their money and everything like that. So that's what's hard for me because it's like I like her, but I also know all of the bad stuff she did. So it's kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of at that weird juxtaposition with it. But let me know what you guys think. I thought it was very telling that she said that Sharif wanted to file for divorce and that he'd actually gotten a lawyer. I don't know how much of that is her trying to get sympathy from us, the audience, and also sympathy from the other girls, because we all know she has a lot of cleaning up to do when it comes to the other girls in their relationships. But I will say, and this might be an unpopular opinion because I know she was a crowd favorite, but I don't like Heather Gay. I think she's really phony. I think she's really fake. I don't like the way she objectifies Black men. And I don't know what it is about her that just really rubs me the wrong way. I'm just not a Heather Gay fan. And I know like Rihanna gave her a shout out and I know she's like a fan favorite, but I don't vibe with Heather. I think she goes after Lisa because Lisa Barlow cannot be bothered to be friends with her. And newsflash, Heather, you don't have to be friends with everybody. Not everybody's going to like you, and not everybody's going to be friends with you. That doesn't mean you have to bash that person's character. It doesn't mean that that person's a bad person. Lisa was just like, I just don't rock with you. I didn't know you. We weren't friends. And that was the truth. So I didn't like that Heather then tried to like paint Lisa as this really bad person. And again, this might be an unpopular opinion because I know some people are on the fence with her. I actually really rock with Lisa Barlow. I think she's funny. I just think her whole like, oh, that's great, that's amazing, yeah. Like she's like a character to me. Like she's like a character, and like I really like I like Lisa Barlow. Heather to me is really fake and phony. I don't like the just that weird neediness and all of this stuff. Like 1 minute she wants all the girls to hate Jen Shah. The next minute she's like, I'll be your friend, Jen. I'll be your friend for you. You know, so it's like, Heather, I'm really confused. Like you're all over the place. Make it make sense. Whitney. And I am the only one that thought it was really cringy how much she was pushing alcohol on her stepsons. Like it just seemed like it was like we have to take shots. Want a shot? Here's a shot. Tequila, shots. It just seemed really bizarre and weird. And it almost seemed like the stepsons were kind of like laughing at Whitney, like they didn't really take Whitney seriously. And then she was really trying really hard to like be one of them and be really cool. And it just came across as a little cringy to me. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I just thought that was a little cringy to me. Like in the excessive drinking, the excessive shots and all that stuff. And I also didn't like how it's almost like Heather and Whitney now are just on this plan to get everybody against Jen and everybody against Lisa Barlow, which is playing out from the end of last season. And Meredith, to me, seems... First of all, I felt really bad that Meredith's father passed. You could tell that was a really sad moment for her, so I felt really bad for her. I do like Meredith. I think she's funny. I think she's cool. I like Meredith and Lisa. I like their dynamic a lot. But I do think that Meredith needs to kind of relax a bit when it comes to Lisa being friends with Jen. Because to Lisa's point, she still rocks with Heather and Whitney, and Heather and Whitney came after her character. I mean, I get it. Jen Shah, I don't agree with Jen Shah liking tweets and retweeting tweets when it comes to Meredith's son's sexuality, when it comes to somebody's child, when it comes to sexuality. I totally get that. I don't co-sign that. But at the end of the day, if you're going to rock with somebody who has attacked my character, then you can't be mad at me for rocking with somebody that you don't like the things that they've done. Thank you, To Be Back Native. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, hey, Candy and the lovely Candy Canes. That's right. Hello. Thank you so much for the super chat, To Be Black Native. I appreciate you. Thank you so, so much. So, yeah, so I kind of get that. But in a little bit, should I tell you guys my conspiracy theory on why I actually, with the real reason why I think Lisa and Meredith's friendship isn't as strong as it used to be? Because I don't think it has anything to do with Jen. I don't think it has anything to do with Brooks. I don't think it has anything to do with Heather or Whitney. I think it's something else. And I want to see if you guys caught this too. I think it's something else. So put it in the chat box. Do you want me to wait to tell you my theory, or do you want me to tell you my theory now? It's up to you guys. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Meredith needs to have better boundaries with Brooke. I agree. Yes, I agree 100%. No, Meredith does need to have better boundaries with Brooks. And low key, remember this scene when Lisa and Meredith are talking and she's like, oh, well, you know, if somebody was saying that about Jack, how would you feel? I could tell on Lisa's face and her reaction, she low key, I think agrees with some of the stuff that's being said about Brooks, because I do. I'm not talking about the sexuality stuff. That A is none of my business, and B, I would never try and be disrespectful or put somebody down. Like, your sexuality is your business, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's nothing to put anybody down. Shout out to the LGBTQIA trans community. So I'm not talking about his sexuality when I say this at all. I'll be very, very clear. This has nothing to do with what his sexuality is. However, I agree. He exudes spoiled, pretentious, white privilege, emotionally stunted, no clear boundaries with his parents or his mother, no clear boundaries with his parents' friends. Because if we're going to be honest about it, Brooks, you threw the first shots at Jen. Jen came over to hang out with your mother, and you wanted camera time. Let's be clear about that. And Jen was just having fun, had her legs up doing a thing, and you made a very derogatory remark about her female reproductive system, about her female parts. So Brooks also, yes, you are Meredith's child, but you're not a child. You're 2021. You're 20, like you're a couple of years from 18. Like, you're 20, 21, 22, Brooks. Like, didn't you leave college to be on the show? So you're an adult, Brooks, and you threw the first shots. So don't throw shots at a woman's body part and then act like you're a victim and shoot those shots at who you are. You threw the first shots. Number one, you're an adult. Number two, you wanted camera time. Number three, you shouldn't have been in your mother's company's face like that. Let's keep it funky. If you want to be a kid and be protected like a kid, then don't be in your mother's company's face like that. Talking about her vagina and all this stuff and da-da-da-da. Like, no. You threw the first shots, Brooke. Jen just threw a grenade. Like, let's just put it that way in what she was doing. I don't condone either side. I don't condone what Brooks does. I don't condone what Jen does by sneakily liking the tweets and stuff. I think that's dirty. But at the same time, Brooks, you threw the first shot. And Meredith needs to own that. Brooks is a grown man. He threw the first shots, and Jen fired back. And that's kind of what it is. And he does. I don't know if he's actually this way or if he thinks he has to play this part. He has to play this persona of this, like, I am just so spoiled, and this is my fashion line, and here is my jogger jumper. Like, I don't know if he, and like, we're just gonna, like, I don't know if he thinks, like, I think he's playing a persona, almost like a caricature. But it comes across as ingenuous. And it does come across as pretentious, snobby, white privilege, spoiled. It does come across that way. And I think Lisa agrees with that. And I think that's why when Meredith was like, oh, if Jen said that about Jack, what would you do? She was like, because I think in her mind, she was like, well, I actually kind of co-sign what's being said. Because Brooks is obnoxious. Very obnoxious. Like, let's keep it funky. So are you guys ready for my theory on the real reason why I think Lisa and Meredith's friendship isn't where it used to be? You guys ready? And then later on, I'll do my predictions for some other stuff. Okay. Since we're on it. So I think the reason why Lisa and Meredith's friendship isn't as close is because I think Lisa felt very, very betrayed when Meredith never confided in her that her and Seth had been separated. But she had confided in Jen about it. And I think that is the moment the friendship changed for Lisa. Because if you go back and watch last season, I don't know what exact episode it was, one closer to the end. But when Jen reveals to everyone oh, Meredith had some man in New York allegedly, and like they weren't, and they had been separated and they were doing their own things and blah, blah, blah. And Lisa was like, no, that's not true. That's not true. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's my best friend of 10 years. I would know. I would know. And then it turned out it was true. And it turned out Meredith was pretending with Lisa that her and Seth were still this like perfect united couple and doing double dates and everything with Lisa and her husband. I think his name is Jason, I think. I think that was the moment where Lisa was just like, whoa, here I was going to bat for you, holding you down, knowing for sure my friend, my best friend on the show, my best friend for the last decade, my basic twin over here, would tell me what's going on in her marriage. I think that was the moment it changed for Lisa. I don't think maybe she's not consciously aware of it, but you could see the look in her face when she realized Meredith had been lying the whole time about the status of her marriage. And that is when Lisa really went to Jen's side. I don't think it's so much about Jen. I think she just felt really betrayed about Meredith moving grimy with her husband. Like, and one, like, oh, to Jen, she's telling the truth that they are separated and they got this going on. But then she's up in Lisa's face acting like her and Seth are a couple of the year. I think that is actually the moment it changed for Lisa. And then Lisa went on to befriend Jen and be on Team Jen. Also, allegedly, Lisa might have some business with Jen, but I think that's a part of it, but separate from. And I think Meredith probably doesn't realize how Lisa felt that betrayed and almost like, well, I don't really know you. Are we actually really that close? And all Meredith sees is that Lisa is holding Jen down. But that's what I think the actual breakdown in their friendship was. That's what I really think it was. Go back. I'll find the exact episode, but I remember watching it. I remember Lisa's face, and the look she had on her face was just like, what? Like, it was like this. Like, it was a look like somebody told you Santa Claus never existed. Like, Santa Claus is fake. That was the kind of look she had on her face. I think that is the actual breakdown in their friendship. I don't think Meredith understands that, and I don't think Lisa is copping to it. But that's what I think the true breakdown is. I think that if that had not happened, Lisa would be holding Meredith down 1,000% the way she was before it came out that Meredith had been lying straight to her face, pretending to have this perfect marriage when she was actually dipping it and doing it with a man in New York, and Seth was dipping it and doing it with whoever he's in, Idaho, Utah, wherever he's at. Who knows? Oregon, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think was the true demise of their friendship. So we'll see how that plays out. But I did like seeing them try and come together more. I like them together. I want to see them come back. Let's see who else. Jenny. I like the new girl. I like her. I like her. I think she's going to be a good addition. I just don't want her to be too over the top and like too annoying in a way, if that makes sense. Like too like where you're like, okay, we get it, you're spicy, you're awesome, you're this, but like rein it in. But I think she's supposed to be the replacement for Jen Shaw if and when Jen Shaw allegedly goes to the clink clink, sing sing. Yeah, Sam Blank says Jenny's daughter is a young icon. Totally. But I like her. I like her husband. I didn't like that she shaded his looks though, because you have to watch early how people talk about their significant others. To me, it was almost like how Candace always does a dig on Chris's finances and his jobs. I didn't like that Jenny did a dig on her husband's looks. She was like, oh yeah, from like the neck down, I was like, oh, you have a great body, but from the neck up, I was like, but whatever, you got me. And it's just like, you're on national television basically telling the world that you think your husband is ugly and unattractive. Flip that scenario. If he was on his confessional and said, yeah, my wife has a banging body, but her face is ugly, could you imagine? Could you imagine if he got up there and called his wife? He's like, yeah, her body's banging, but her face is ugly. Could you imagine? That's basically what she did. Oh, he has a great body, but his face is messed up. That's basically what she said. That is messed up. And people, stop playing with your marriages. Stop playing with your marriages, because from what it looks like, I don't think Jenny has a job. And I'm telling you, there will be a woman who will be more than happy to take your ugly rich husband right off your hands. Right off your hands. Oh, Sumai thinks I didn't like the hub's comment either. Attractive. Yeah. But you have to be careful playing with that stuff. I do like that he's a chiropractor. Have you guys ever had that done? I've had that done the last couple of weeks, and where they like do like the back and like the neck, and I used to be scared of it, but I actually really like it now. It actually really did make a difference, and I like that their kids are genuine friends, like Jack and Atlas. They're genuine friends. I like that. I like Jenny. I think she's going to be a good addition to the show. I think she's not going to hold back. I think she's going to have an opinion, and she's going to tell you exactly what her opinion is and what's on her mind. So yeah, I like Jenny, but girl, stop playing with your marriage. Both of y'all, stop playing with that stuff. Stop playing with it. I'm telling you right now. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, so Heather talking about her daughter going to college. Okay, that was cute. Mary. Okay, y'all know I don't rock with Mary. I don't rock with her. I loved how they were doing the preludes, or like the previews, and the guy was like, it's a cult, and she calls herself God. This is allegedly true. Allegedly true. She really does call herself God. She makes the people like pay her all this money. And all this stuff came out where she was like on tape, like yelling at the people for not giving her presents on her birthday. And she was saying how she doesn't like poor people and like all of this stuff. And like it came out with like there was some weird stuff, how like she was lied and said that her grandmother willed her to marry her husband when she died, but that turned out not to be true. Like there isn't actually a will, and how she cut out the rest of her family from the grandmother's businesses. So the family didn't get any money, but just her, and basically her and the grandfather schemed everybody else to get the money and to get the businesses, and like did all this crazy stuff. It's a lot. It's a mess. I'm also worried about Mary. Like I know we're having a good Kiki and T shade, but I don't think it was the pandemic why she talks to herself. Oh, Miss T, I'm about to get to your comment. Yep. And she said how she's talking to herself now. Mary, stop lying. You know you've been talking to yourself for a very, very long time. It's not because of the pandemic. It's because there's a tick. And I'm not putting down mental health. I'm not making fun of anybody with a mental health issue. I want to be very clear about that. I'm not making fun of anybody with a mental health issue. I'm genuinely concerned. Should someone exhibiting this type of mental instability be on TV and be under this type of pressure, like, I don't know, like, it just seemed bizarre to me that I don't know, it just seemed really weird. I do think there's a tick with something's off. And then she was saying how she felt that she was not of this world, like she wasn't meant for this world, she was meant for God, and she doesn't trust human beings, like as if she's not a human being. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't trust human beings. Like, you're not a human being? I'm really confused. Sam says Mary is TV gold. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but like, where is the line? I guess. And then back to the podcast, like Miss T said, did you see how Mary put down the prayer scares up podcast and then did the same exact thing? This is the thing with that. I was just like, performative prayer. It was like performative prayer. I think that those two men, I forget what their names are, but they were just these weird, yes, lackeys. Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary. Amen, Mary. Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary. Yes, Mary. It was so weird and so bizarre, and his prayer was performative. And then she goes, you're doing too much. Let me show you how to do it. If you're calling yourself a woman of God, if you're calling yourself some preacher pastor, prayer should be revered. It's your moment that you're connecting with God, a higher power. It's not a performance that you're doing. And she literally said, let me show you how to do it. That right there confirms she's, in my opinion, allegedly fake and phony AF. I think the only God Mary prays to is money. I said it. I think that is the only God that Mary cares about is money, allegedly, in my opinion. I do think she runs her church like a cult, allegedly, in my opinion. I do think she has a tick in her head, like something is askew, allegedly, in my opinion. I think it's weird. I think it's bizarre. I think she's running a scam and a fraud, allegedly, in my opinion. But let me show you how to do it. That sent a chill down my spine, because you have to really listen and really watch what people say and do, because people always tell on themselves. Always. That was just bizarre to me. Bizarre. Absolutely weird and bizarre. Oh, and another thing. Do you know how she said that her husband was in Florida for 6 months and she was just there with her son, and she has this weird relationship with the son where he kind of like just uses her for the money and like does his own thing, and she was alone for 6 months, and her husband was in Florida and he didn't want to travel. I think Miss T, yeah, I think Mary is a hoarder too. I think she's a hoarder. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's some serious psychological stuff. I think she is a hoarder. She does think that she's God. She said it herself. She's performative with everything. She said it's really, I can't. Yeah, the girlfriend. That's right, Miss T. Yep. So who knows? But that's going out with Mary, and I'm excited to see the rest of this. I thought it was a great first episode, because I think it's really setting up people's storylines and setting up what's to come. I'm excited to see everything with Mary unfold. I do hope that they expose her for exactly who she is. What else happened, you guys? Whitney's skincare line. I'm excited for that. The shot she showed of her face, I was like, woo, girl. So I'm excited that she was able to clear that up. I'm looking forward to see what she does with her skincare line. Let's see what else is going on. Jenny and Lisa, all that stuff. I thought Jen Shaw's family was sweet, but I also think that production is doing Jen the way they're doing Erica. When they went into her closet and they did a slow-mo of every single bag, shoe, coat, dress, skirt, watch, hat, everything, I was just like, this is a great thing for the feds. Like, Ron Richardson is about to pop out and be like, Jen Shaw, I'm coming after you too. Production is doing everything they did to Erica. They're doing it to Jen with the whole camera, with just the whole thing. Because her legal battle, she might have to pay restitution. Allegedly, with all the fraud and the scheming that she did, she might have to pay restitution for that. Where did the money go? Where does the money reside? How did you have all the money to pay for all this stuff, right? So they are being shady with that stuff. And then let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box, and then we'll talk more. Miss T says, this must be the time Mary's son snuck his girlfriend in, allegedly. Yeah, that's right. And allegedly, the girlfriend was like a runaway, and the people had to come and get him. Yeah. Hey, Sam Blank. Mary dresses like a toddler playing in her mom's closet. Yeah, Mary, allegedly, in my opinion, and I'm not putting down mental illness at all. I'm being very clear about that. But there's something really not right. Something just really not right. Let me just put it that way. Hey, Miss T. If Mary wears the same wig all season, I'm going to lose my mind. Yo, remember when she tweeted? She was like, "Sorry about my hair last season. There's not a lot of black hairstylists in Utah." I was like, "Girl, bye. You could do better. You could do some YouTube tutorials. You can do better." Hey, Lala Giselle, Mary makes me nervous. Me too. Mary makes me very, very nervous. Her energy is just like, you know what I mean? It's very erratic and just off. Anybody who talks to themselves and she has conversations with herself. Like, I live by myself too, but I don't, and she doesn't even live by herself. Her son was actually still there. And she actually still has I don't believe the whole I started talking to myself during the pandemic. That's not true. Mary, good well, you've been talking to yourself for a long time. Like, we all talk to ourselves at a certain point. It's like, oh, like, did I forget this? But Mary has like full conversations. It's scary. Hey, Darren Hood. Hey, homie, what's up? Thank you for coming through. Hey, Darren. What is up? Miss T, it scares me that Mary has people that truly follow what she says. Look, the only way to be a cult leader is if you have followers. What happened was it Jim Jones? A lot of cult leaders, Scientology, Nexium, whatever it is very, very scary. It is very, very scary. I'm trying to get these messages up here. If I skipped anybody's comment, I apologize. I'm trying to get through. So, hey, Sam Blanc, people are saying Meredith tipped off the feds, but how would Meredith know the feds were after her anyway? Okay, so this gets me to my prediction. Okay? So thank you for this question. I predict, hold on, Missy's American Special look took me out. She seems for everything at once. Yeah, she's like, let me just throw everything on. Mary's a hot mess. Okay, so this gets me to my prediction. I agree. I do think Meredith did tip the feds off, allegedly, in my opinion. I think she was so pissed at Jen about the Brooke stuff and about all of that stuff. How would she know? Easy. Weren't there, Jen had like multiple assistants. Apparently, some of those assistants had already flipped. And so they were already giving information to the feds. So, like, maybe the feds reached out. Maybe somebody reached out. You never know. I don't know how this stuff works, but I don't think it would be that far-fetched to think that Meredith somehow was contacted or contacted someone or knew what was going on. And they're all saying, Meredith, you know more than you're saying. You know more than you're saying. Who tipped the feds off? How did they know where we were? Like, all of this stuff. I don't put it past Meredith to do that. And my prediction is that the reason why the girls, because now we see Heather and what's her face, Whitney and Meredith, they're all being buddy and kissy, all going after Jen and going after Lisa. But we saw in the trailer for the upcoming season that it seemed like Heather and Whitney were pissed off at Meredith too, being like, was it you who tipped them off? Did you do this? And my prediction is the reason why that they're pissed and not like, oh, good for you, Meredith, we hate Jen, she's bad or whatever. It's not so much because they want to protect Jen or they really care about Jen. I think it's more because I think it's twofold. One, if you did that to her and somebody in our group, you would do that to me too. And it's a betrayal of the whole group. That's something that supersedes all of the other cattiness and the tea. To flip on someone and to rep them out to the feds, that is a different level of betrayal. And it's like, if you did that to one of us, you could do that to any of us. You know what I mean? Like there's levels to this. So that's why I think that they're really pissed off at her. And given Meredith's reaction, again, just in the trailer, because you know how production likes to chop things up and the preview will be one thing, and when you actually watch the episode, it's something else. So I'm only basing this on the preview of what I saw. Given Meredith's reaction, she seemed guilty. She seems like she had something to do with it, or she knows who had something to do with it, or she helped out in some way. Her reaction was extremely guilty. And I think the women had a right to be pissed. So that's the first reason why I think they're pissed. Different level of betrayal. One thing to talk about whose husband is sleeping with who, blah, 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 this person, da, 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 da. That's one thing, right? But to rat someone out to the feds, different level. The other side of this, why I actually think, another reason why I think they're really pissed, they don't want their stuff very, very similar to what's happening with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Well, you have gone now and opened up this can of worms. You shined a light on Jen and her alleged fraudulent stuff. Now my skeletons in my closet might be bust wide open. So you didn't just put her on blast, you put the show on blast, and by proxy, you put the group on blast. Just like they said, they don't want to be deposed. They don't want to be subpoenaed. They don't want to ask what they know. What if they've done business with Jen? What if they have X, Y, and Z with Jen? Because then there was also all the allegations that Whitney's husband was also running some type of Ponzi scheme, allegedly. So who knows? There's so many people who get on these reality shows who appear to have all this money, who appear to be on the up and up, and then we have all of this stuff that happens with like the Teresa Giudices, with the Apollos, with the Jen Shaws, with the Erica Girardis. And so I think they're saying, you opened a can of worms and you don't know what is going to come out. And we're pissed at you because of that. And it's true. If Meredith did this, she put all of them in jeopardy. Because now all of their businesses come into question. Now they're all under a microscope. The same exact thing what the girls were saying in Beverly Hills. We don't want to get subpoenaed. We don't want to get deposed. We don't want our names associated with this in the press. We don't want to be, what's going on with that? Our reputations are on the line now. And that is valid. Because now that the feds they're not just looking at Jen, they're going to be looking at all of them. Sure, Heather says her husband has all this family money and all these businesses, but a lot of people say a lot of things. You never know. All money is not good money. Whitney's husband was allegedly doing a Ponzi scheme, so who knows what's going on there? And we all know Mary allegedly, with everything she did to her family and her cult, and what she's doing to exploiting her congregation or whatever it is. I'm sure Mary doesn't want to be exposed that way either. And then Lisa, I know they asked the question, like, well, did you do business with Jen? And they kind of like left it on a cliffhanger. So who knows what's going on there? So I predict that the women are going to turn on Meredith unless Meredith really says she had nothing to do with this. And not so much because they really want to protect Jen. I think Heather is weird. I don't know what's going on with her neediness for Jen. I think Whitney doesn't like Jen, could care less. Lisa likes Jen. Mary, the tick. But I think they're going to be mad at her because what it could potentially expose about them. That is what my prediction is. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Pinocchio knows. Quinn Michaels needs help stopping the government hackers. He is on YouTube. Okay, I'll check him out. Thanks for that. Hey, Derby Diva Empowerment. She goes, they're all open a can of worms getting on the show. Exactly. The one who came on Watch What Happens Live said she knew Jen was shady and crooked. Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like you have to have a certain type of personality to want to be on reality TV. And I think that personality sometimes is the same personality of people who do fraudulent things because they somehow have this hubris or pride thinking that they're smarter than everybody else, or thinking that they'll never get caught. Or I think in Jen Shah's situation, I actually think Jen Shah drank her own Kool-Aid. Like, I really think in her mind, she kind of crossed this delusional line where she kind of almost forgot that what she's doing. And I'm not absolving her, I'm not condoning her, because if she is found guilty of everything that she's alleged doing, throw the book at her. These people deserve their money, and destroying somebody's life is never okay. So to be very clear, I'm not trying to condone her. But I think in her mind, Jen to me just seems very, again, she drank her own Kool-Aid. I think she's just caught up in her own delusion at this point. I think she's caught up in her own delusion of fame, her own delusion of grandeur, her own delusion of the world revolving around her, her own delusion that her business is legitimate. I just think that she is caught up in this delusional fantasy world. And did you guys see, hold on. Okay, Danny, I'll get to you in 1 second, sweetheart. Okay, so did you guys see the photos of Jen Shah when she was younger versus her face now? It was so heartbreaking because she was such a beautiful, beautiful woman. Like, her face was just so different. Like, the nose was so different. Like, everything, the cheeks, like, it's just sad. Danny, which is known from the cast, tipped the feds. This is something that has been investigated since around 2012. The feds do not need to be tipped off. They can find info on their own. Right, but I don't think they're saying tip off the feds in the sense of Meredith in 2021 tipped off the feds that what Jen Shah was doing was illegal. I think they're more like, you tip the feds off of where she is now, and still feeding the feds information. So I don't think they're saying that Meredith started the investigation against Jen. I think what they're saying is Meredith had been cooperating with the feds, basically, is more of what they're saying, if that makes sense, right? Because you're right. No, the feds had this whole thing going on forever, but they do get people close to you to flip on you. Basically, they're saying you flipped on Jen, is basically what they're saying. Hey, Misty, how much do you think Coach Sean knew about Jen's activities? Allegedly, in my opinion, every damn thing. Everything. I think that Sharif, Mr. Coach, I think he comes across very caring and loyal and understanding. But with Jen's personality and how she is, I don't think she does anything that he does not know and does not co-sign. Because if I'm remembering correctly, so I'm going to say allegedly, in my opinion, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe I heard Coach Shah used to be a lawyer, but he stopped practicing the same year she opened up her telemarketing stuff to become a coach. And I think I think they said something like, if you're a lawyer and you know of fraudulent activities, then you're legally bound to report it, or something like that. Don't quote me on this. This could be wrong. I just remember this allegedly. So it kind of was just like, well, he knew what she was about to do, and to sort of absolve himself from liability, he stopped practicing in case it comes out, and now he's a coach. Because it'd be one thing if you were a lawyer and you knew this was going on. I think, but I don't know. But I think he knew everything. I don't think that she was. Let me put it this way. I don't think he was an assistant coach, and she was doing telemarketing, and they had millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, and he didn't ask where the money was coming from. Like, Sharif is not stupid. I think he knew exactly what was going on, and I think he benefited from it. He got to travel, be away from home all the time. He got to be a coach. He got to have this $1 million lifestyle. I think he knew, the same way I think Erica knew. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, Erica, I think Erica knew what Tom was doing, and then be like, oh, but Sharif didn't know what Jen was doing. No, you both knew what your spouses were doing and you benefited from it, and you're both culpable. I highly, highly doubt Jen was running, as the feds say, she's like tier A, top of the list. I highly doubt she was running the sophisticated telemarketing fraud scheme, brought in multi-million dollars a year, and her husband was just like, wow, my wife is just a good businesswoman. I don't think so. Hey, young rich, I would call the feds on that heifer too if she talked about my child. Ooh, yeah, throw a little extra allegations as well. You're silly. You are so silly. You are so silly. Let's see what you guys are saying. If I skip anybody's comments, I apologize. I'm trying to get to them. Mrs. B. More ATLian Stan says he still gets money from his contracts. He has a residual income. No, and that's fine. If he still gets money from contracts and he has a residual income, that is fine. But the lifestyle that they were living and based on a telemarketing, come on. I've acted in things and I still get residuals. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Derby Diva Empowerment. Hell, her own husband rolled over on her. Exactly. He refused to go down with the ship. Yep, but he knew everything from day one. I agree. My man is an attorney. Exactly. Either you're involved or you're not. He knew. Thank you, Derby Diva. Exactly. He's an attorney. He knew what was going on. He's not stupid. He knew exactly what was going on. 100%. Let's see what you guys are saying. Sorry, that was my phone. Hey, young rich, the coach was on jacked while Jen was locked up. He didn't pay that woman any mind. He ready to get rid of her. Yeah, I mean, she already said, right? She already said that he came to her with a divorce attorney. And Coach Shaw was so checked out. That's why she was screaming and doing splits and yelling and fighting with everybody, just literally just for attention. Because I think Coach Shaw has been checked out for a very, very long time. And speaking of, well, I'm thinking about Meredith and Seth. And Meredith said that they spend 50-50 time together. I guess I can't say what could work. I guess I can't speak on somebody else's marriage because maybe what works for them works for them. So I'll speak for myself. That would not work for me. A 50-50 like, I don't know, because what are you doing in the other 50% of your time? I still think that they are separated and but they've just gotten to a place where maybe it's like open. I don't think everything is hunky-dory as they claim it to be. Hey, Sam Blank, I don't know how she tried to use the legless aunt for sympathy when she knew everything was against her. Yeah. But I think they did that scene before, but still, I mean, just a mess. Smell like hospital. That was still crazy. Miss T, did Coach Shaw lose his job yet? I don't think so. I don't think so. I guess if he gets implemented in it. Hey, Sam. She goes, doesn't attorney-client privilege let you tell your lawyer something illegal and they can't do anything? I'm not talking about attorney-client privilege. Because attorney-client privilege is, yes, you can tell your lawyer something illegal and they're not allowed to tell anybody else. It's like you can tell your doctor something, they're not allowed to tell you that. But I think that, I guess if they said Jen his client though? I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but that's not what I mean with this. It's like if you know something fraudulent is going on, it's like you have to report it. Like it's like a social worker. If you know abuse is going on, you have to report it or things like that. But I know you mean like attorney-client privilege, but I think it's something else. Hey, Sip with D. Hey, Beauty. She goes, I definitely think he knew what man wouldn't ask where his wife getting this money from. Oh, he definitely knew. Allegedly, in my opinion. Definitely. Hey, young rich. I honestly don't feel like he knew or cared what she was doing. He just wanted to get rid of that woman, but he's trapped with her for life because they have kids and one's still a minor. I think he knew. I don't think he cares what she does, But I do think he knew, and I do think that he cared in the sense of he now has access to millions and millions of dollars. It's not like she was making the money and he couldn't use it. You know what I mean? I definitely think he knew, allegedly. Hey, June's Place. Hi, Candy. It's been a minute. Hey, what's up? Well, thank you for joining now. That's right, you guys. We are here in the candy shop. We're having a good kiki. Keep the comments coming. Get those likes up and subscribe and share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Yes. Hey, Diva Journey Empowerment. My man is always in court working cases, but we spend major time together. That's the thing. Exactly. Couples who want to spend time together will always find the time. If someone doesn't, they will always find an excuse. Point blank, period. It's just how it is. You either find the time or you find an excuse. 100%. Hey, Misty, isn't there spousal privileges so you cannot testify against your husband or wife? Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm telling you, that's just what I heard. It could be wrong, but when I heard it, it sounded right. Hey, Sam, at Sonia Jackson, right. I don't want to see Jen saggy coochie no matter who I am to her. Oh my God, you guys. Candy kids, not the saggy coochie. Y'all a mess. June's Place, mandated reporter. Yes, a mandated reporter. Very true. Hey, Sam, I always forget that Whitney, Jen, and Lisa all have children under 10 years old. Yeah, they do. They all do. Youngins. Youngins. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Miss T. Thanks for other comments. Yes, yes, yes. Candy Canes. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, there is attorney time privilege. There is spousal privilege. I don't know if that applies to, I don't know. Does that trump being a lawyer? I don't know, you guys. Good comments, though. But I do think he knew. Hey, Mrs. Kiki. She goes, hey, girl. Hey, beautiful. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Sip with D. I think that's what pushed the divorce papers. Maybe they knew it was coming. Because when she got that call, she seemed like she seemed upset and scared, but she did not seem surprised. So maybe she knew it was coming at some point. Who knows? Hey, Young Rich, but can we replace Brooks with Jenny's daughter as the child star of the show? Yes. Yes, we can. Officially. Hey, Deborah Diva, Candy, this is Joanna Morris. Oh, hey, Joanna. Hey, sweetheart. I changed my name to my new business name. Oh, hey, Joanna. How are you? And she goes, yes, it applies. Yeah, so I guess it does apply. Who knows? Who knows with all these loopholes? But I guess, and Young Rich is right. Sharif wants to be out. The coach has been checked out for a very, very, very long time. But put more comments in the chat box. Let me see my notes. Anything else we missed about this? The great fashions. I love Jenny on the show. Let's see what else is going on. I want to see Heather date. And not just objectifying black men. I want to see her out there. Too much. What else is going on? One thing that Mary said that I did thought was really funny was about the friendship juice. And she was like, you hang out with people who make you feel bad. That's not juice, that's a choice. I did think that was funny. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. I'm not a Mary. I don't rock with Mary, but I thought that was funny. Hey, Danny. Hey, beautiful Danny Wade. She goes, just look at it differently. Maybe Coach Shaw didn't know her business activities given that he spends more time out of the home. Yeah. But they've been married for, so her son was 26 and he was turning 27, right? So they've been married for at least 26 to 28 years. I think he knew what she was doing. He may not have known the nitty-gritty specifics of it, but I don't think that Coach Shaw was oblivious to the fact that there was shady things going on. Because he doesn't even treat her like, because I do want to look at it differently, Danny. I do want to look at it, I do want to look at it differently. But and to look at it differently, right? Coach Shaw doesn't treat Jen like he respects her in any capacity. I mean, maybe he used to, and now we're just seeing this erratic Jen who's just yelling and cursing and popping off and all of these things, and he doesn't know how to help her, and she's like all that stuff. But he doesn't look at her like, wow, you are this really savvy businesswoman who has this business that brings in millions of dollars that let me leave my legal practice and become a coach. Because even though it's very, very clear her alleged fraudulent company has brought in all this money, their dynamic is somehow still as if he's the breadwinner. Do you agree? Like let me know if you guys agree with me on this. I'm talking this out right now because I want to really think about what Danny said. I see you, Sifwiti. I see you. Hey, sweetheart. So let me know what you guys think on that, right? They still act like he's the breadwinner. So I don't know. But let's just see what you guys are saying. Okay, 1 second. Hey, beautiful.
Hey. I literally just stopped watching the episode, so I'm like pumped up, like literally, yeah. I was excited. I was
Yes,
really excited. I really like Salt Lake. I think it's coming in. It's coming in. It's becoming one of my favorites.
me too.
I have to disagree with some people in the chat. I do not
Okay.
think Meredith tipped off the feds. I think it was
Yeah.
production all day long. I do. I really think it was production. I do. And I think it was production because they were at the home. They were there when she, it looked like she walked out of the courthouse. They were there. You know what I mean? Even though we know you sign contracts for them to film, but you can have that. I feel like they have that little bit of clause where you can say, like, no, not right now, maybe. But like for them to like the way that it was filmed out, I really feel like they knew it was coming. They kept all eyes on her when she got the phone call, when she asked to have the mic turned off. Like I think it was production. And honestly, I would not be surprised, I want to see how it goes with Meredith. I would hope that she wouldn't do that. I agree with
Mhm.
you. I don't think it was about the fact that she tipped off, the whole situation. I do think it's like kind of like a bug in a group. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Mhm.
okay, wow. Like almost like, I hate to say it like that, but like the snitch, you know what I mean? Like
A
we don't
mole.
want her here. Exactly. So who knows what she's
Yep.
gonna do? She might get really mad at me one day and decide to take it there. We don't want that. We don't want that here. So I
Mhm.
agree, like if it's that way. I actually like Meredith. The conversation with Meredith and Lisa, it's almost like one of them petty little things, almost like the Karen and Giselle. It's almost a little petty because yes, Brooks is really snippy. Brooks is really snippy, and he lays it down like he can take it. You know what I mean? Like he dishes it out like it's nothing. But the one thing that I will say, because I agree with you when you say, you want it to be filmed, this is adult time or whatever the case may be. But if he's a part of the show and wherever he walks in, they decide to get that scene, I do feel like you don't kind of someone's children are right there, maybe not do a move like that. So their kids right here, you know what I mean? Maybe just hold on and not. I mean, granted, we couldn't see, it looked like she kind of covered up good enough, but that's almost like saying like, okay, I'm gonna do a split, or what I'm saying, in front of some little kids, or doing anything like kind of inappropriate like that in front of children. I think that honestly, I think Jen read the room wrong. I think with her thinking, what we all really been thinking about Brooks's sexuality, not to,
Mhm.
put that on him because he hasn't spoke out about it. But I think that she thought like this is a girlfriend moment. This is a whatever. You're not gonna feel, anything like that. Cause I want to say her daughter even agreed to about her, this, that, and the
Yeah.
third. Like, but even pushing it like, oh, she's an old lady. No one wants to see that. Like, it's really calm down. Like it's not that serious, but I mean, like your mom talked to her about it, what I'm saying? It was done. Like, just calm down a little bit. Like, that's how I felt. But I also felt like Jen maybe have read the room. That's what made her feel like she was comfortable to kind of make that move. Like, it's whatever. It's him. but at the same time, maybe not do things like that, lifting your legs up and open in front of people's children. Like maybe,
Yeah, yeah,
wait till they leave and then have that moment with your girl. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah. No,
That's
but
kind of
I
what I
would
thought about that.
no, it's good. No, but what I would say to that is I think Jen was just having fun, and I don't think Meredith took it any type of way. I
Right.
truly think it was Brooks being snippy and snotty. I think that he turned her having fun into something that it really wasn't. And he kind of like
Yeah.
poisoned the sister, because the sister to me just kind of says whatever Brooke says. She's just kind of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Sam is saying that yes, at the end of the day, he was unfortunately a cast member and was supposed to be in the room. No, this is the thing. Brooks is not a cast member. Brooks is
Yeah, he's
just
really not. He's just a
he's not
child. Yeah,
he's
they're
just a
not cast
child,
members.
and
Yeah.
he clearly wanted screen time, which is why he was there. But I think the
Yeah.
biggest reason why it was really messy what Brooks did was because when afterwards he goes and he does this on camera. To me, I think if you were actually that offended, you have known Jen for years. This isn't like a fake friend that they put together. All of these women, I have to say, for Salt Lake City, have genuinely known each other for years. So it's
Yep.
not like a random person coming in. Brooks, you know Jen. Off camera, say, hey, mom, that made me feel really uncomfortable. Can you
Yeah.
talk to Jen about it? That to me would be genuine. But Brooks did it on camera. He was very, very bitchy. He was very, very snippy. And then he did something that I thought it was Meredith's place to tell him no. But again, I'm not going to tell anybody how to raise their children. But when Brooks was just like, I want you to stay with me and Chloe, and I don't want you to go to Jen's house for the sleepover. If you remember, that actually caused a
Yeah.
really big problem between Jen
Between them
and
two.
Meredith,
Absolutely.
because then when Meredith called and said, "Oh, I'm going to stay in with my kids," Jen thought, "Oh, you're staying with your kids because you're mad because you're taking Mary's side."
Yep.
Remember, Jen misunderstood and
Yep.
thought the reason why she wasn't going over to her house for the slumber party that they had was because Meredith had been talking to Mary, and that caused
Yep.
a
And it
big
yeah,
problem.
real.
And the
And
truth
not even
was,
just between them
it was
two, almost through the
Brooks
whole group. Yeah,
ex-
yeah, honestly. And
between
yeah,
the
it
whole
kind of
group, and
spread to
then
the whole
it
group.
spread to the whole group. And
Yep.
it was Brooks who was the one who said, I don't want you to go
Don't
hang
go,
out with
mom.
her.
Yeah,
Don't
that
go,
was
mommy. With his whole 20
it's
years
like
old
grow
self.
up. Yeah, it was weird to me. It was like he's not 5. I mean, and then I
Thank
don't
you.
that
Thank
it's
you.
just too much. I do agree with you. He wanted that moment. He
He wanted
wanted to
that
be
moment.
known, Yeah, because I don't think he would have got any time other than his fashion show, to be honest with you, because it didn't have anything to do. He had to have his mom Meredith in there to get that time. And that
Mm-hmm.
show, if his mom wasn't, I mean, it just, yeah, it was really weird to me. Like, stay with me, mom. And then, of course, she's going to feel a certain way to her child. Oh, my son
Right.
wants me to stay. Like, I'm trying to even remember, did they spend a lot of time together? Like, I'm just like, it just, he made it seem like it
He
was like, I
left.
need you
He
right
left,
now.
and that's the whole thing. He left college to be at home to film. So it's just like
Okay.
you live in her,
Yeah.
you live with her, and you're really gonna tell your mother to stay home with you when she was gonna go out and have a sleepover with her girlfriend when you are a grown man. I
Yeah.
understand if the kid was
Honestly,
what
to go to work,
to go
really.
to work. Yeah, thank you, because
At
they
the end
would
of the
have
day, it was
filmed
work.
it.
They
It
would have
was
got filmed.
work.
Yep.
They would have. He wanted. This is the thing. Brooks wanted camera time to get to a position so they would film his fashion show, because it would,
Yep.
because if he hadn't been doing all of this stuff, it would have been weird to be like, oh, now all of a sudden here's Brooks and he has a fashion line when we don't know Brooks, we don't know
Exactly.
him. This was his way of infiltrating onto the show, and he
Yeah,
knew that
I thought it
having
was
a
very
beef with
rude.
someone,
Yeah.
very
And he
rude,
picked
very rude.
Jen. When Jen was, I want to say, I don't know if any of the others supported. That's one thing I did not like. If
Hmm.
you feel with her that much and you guys know each other, like I agree with you. That's a close knit. All of them, kind of knew each other for years. Even if it's the
Yep.
extent off of this person, off of that person, they all had a couple years under their belt, under their friendships. So
Yep.
my thing is, Brooks, you had enough to talk to her. You gave her your outfit to wear, your jumpsuit to wear pre-fashion show, pre-launch, and she wore it on the show.
Yep.
I mean, it was yeah, that was weird to me. I mean, she definitely supported, so I agree. So I think they're kind of dragging this at this point. I'm pretty sure Brooks is over it because he got his time, and then on top of that, he kind of got a little dragged on social media. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't really want to even indulge in it anymore at this point. He's probably like, okay, this is too much. This
Yeah,
is too much. You know what I mean?
he seemed skittish on the last episode. He wasn't doing the most the way he usually does,
Nope.
which I think is
Nope.
good. I want to see Brooks as Brooks. I think last season he was a caricature of who he thought he was.
Yeah, very too
He,
much.
it was like he was pretending to be a Kardashian, or you know what I mean. It seemed like it was something like
Yes.
it seemed
Yes,
like
he
that, like he
was.
was like pretending, and it's like, of course you're gonna
Yes.
get that type of backlash for it. And I do think that again, it's hard to defend. I'm trying to separate the two because I know that Jen allegedly has done some really shady stuff to people. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to
me too.
separate that with also still being fair to Jen. The way Lisa said, like people have been bad to Jen too. Like I do think Jen got a raw end of that deal. She went to her friend's house. She was having cocktails. She had a good kiki. She was just having fun. And then her son
Yeah.
goes out there, talks about like I would be mortified if I was just having fun with my friend and then
Yeah.
their kid or whatever was just like, oh, I saw your, on national
I know,
TV.
and
I
making
would
it a
be
big thing and on
mortified.
TV. Yeah, I would too. I mean, because you're pretty much attacking my character as if, when I'm probably almost sure she's probably done a move like that or even worse when cameras weren't filming,
Brooks
as
has
them
probably
knowing
done
each other through years.
Brooks has
Yeah.
probably done more.
That's what I'm saying. For her to
You know what
even
I'm
feel
saying?
that comfortable to even do something, move
Exactly.
like that, there has to be something more to it. So that's why I'm like, I just it's up and down for me. It's weird because the way she retaliated, she shouldn't have done it that way. But I also say it's everyone's first season. And you get
Yep.
them first season things where you kind of just say whatever, do whatever. It takes you at least their second season to kind of get it together and how to not do all that. Because just like
Yep.
I think I forgot who said it. I don't know if it was DJ Richie Sky, and they said like how almost how Candace goes on live all the time to discuss the episodes and discuss things
Mm.
like that. But you don't see Giselle and Robin doing it because it's no need for that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's no need to be on social media going back and forth. The episode is aired. It is what it is. Why are you trying to
Yeah.
justify what we you know what I mean? Like it's no need. So hopefully she does kind of see this season that like I mean all of them really because a lot of
Yeah.
them kind of did that. Meredith, Lisa, a lot of them did that last season. And I don't know how I feel about
Mhm.
I keep wanting to call her Sarah, the fake friend. What's her name?
Henny?
Heather.
Heather. Oh,
Heather.
Heather.
Cause she
I
totally
don't. I don't.
flipped the
I
last
don't.
the last episode, like the last season to me. So this, I'm just like, I'm not surprised, but I honestly think this is what I feel about her. Is
Mhm.
I think Jen was a popular girl for her. You know what I mean? She was like the one to latch on the first season, and then once the girls are turning on her, she's just like, oh no. So soon as things, she's gonna go where the tide goes. If
Yeah.
Jen's up, we're up. If Jen's down, Jen's down. If Whitney's up, we're up. And that's what she's gonna do for me because she was so I'm a down friend for you, I'm a down friend for you. Then arguing at the parties and you switching up on her, like the way she treated her when they had that last meeting. I was very shocked that
Yeah.
she was the main one. Like, no, I'm not. Even at the everything, I was very shocked because you was riding for her. She was your
Yeah.
only friend, really. I mean, so I think she's gonna keep flip flopping like that, as we saw through the previews. I'm here for you. I'm the friend for you. If I was Jen, I wouldn't trust them, honestly. Only one I would, if I was Jen, the only one I would kind of halfway trust is Mary because Mary will tell you she don't like you. She'll give it to you exactly what it is and she's not going to fake it. That's it. Mary's going to say, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And Mary, oh my
Mary's gonna
gosh,
be
Miss
like, we don't
Mary.
like you. All of my
Yeah, yeah. I
personalities,
don't want
all of
none of
us
that
talking
juice
in my
you
head.
got. Yeah,
We
I'm
all
saying in
don't
my
like
head and
you.
say it out loud. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mary. I was already kind of before the season aired. I don't know if you saw Amara Tasha K. She did that interview
Hmm.
with someone in Mary's family, and they kind of talked about the whole thing. So I was really anticipating seeing how that was going to unfold. The way she dresses and it just looks very much true, very very much true. That her brother-in-law, whoever cousin person that spilled the beans on all of that was
Yep.
crazy. So that was
Absolutely
funny.
crazy. And I agree
Yeah.
with you on Heather. Heather rubs me the wrong way. Like she's too much. She's too much of a pick me. Like
Yes, I
be
said
my
that.
friend. She's a pick me. Like, oh, you're friends with me, and then she's
Hmm.
like, oh, you're friends with Lee. Like she could not. Like her mind was blown when
Yeah.
Jen and Lisa became friends because it's
Yeah.
very clear that Lisa has no time for Heather.
Yep.
I love Lisa. I love Lisa, by the way. Lisa's
I
my
like
favorite
Lisa too.
person. She's my
And I think
favorite.
she's kind of staying neutral, but I think like I like that towards the end of her conversation with Meredith, she was like, "Listen, I love you. You're good with me. Like that was your time to back off. You see your friend is getting really worked up. Like this your time to
Hmm.
back off and just reassert your position that you love her and you just want this to be better." Like I thought the conversation was good. At first I was like, "Girl, you're banging this in. Just let her have her moment because she's not going to see this down." But I like that she assured her, like, "Listen, I love you, you're my friend, we're good," because what's going to happen is it could mess up what they have going on, even though I kind of already think it is, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
Do
agree
you?
with you on that, what you said.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you agree? Like, I really
Oh
think the
yeah.
reason why they had that real rift was because
Mm-hmm.
Meredith wasn't honest with Lisa about
Yep.
what was going on in her marriage, and I think Meredith
Yep.
wasn't honest with Lisa because I think she probably felt shame and maybe
Yes. Yes.
embarrassed
Yes.
because Lisa and Jason, I think his name is Jason. Lisa, I'm just calling him Jason. Lisa and
Yeah,
her
their
husband
marriage is
Jason,
kind of,
their marriage is
yeah.
solid. They're a team. They have cute kids. They're fun.
Yep.
They're happy. So I think that Meredith really cares about Lisa's opinion of her. So I think instead
Absolutely.
of being coming to her vulnerable and being like, "Hey friend, I'm going through a really hard time. My husband is out doing this. I'm out doing this. We separate. We're not like da 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 da." I think she wanted to protect her ego and protect her image more than she was able to
Exactly.
be vulnerable to her friend. But Lisa
I think
takes
she
that.
thought that Lisa was going to almost like look at her differently and judge her,
Right,
because
right.
if they've been friends for 10 plus years or 10 years, then that means they've been friends through both of their marriages and they've been couple friends as well. So it's like, okay, now you have to get used to me. I got to tell you what me and my husband are doing. I mean, and then I also think that Lisa's kind of like, this is kind of what you get. Like right now, you decided not to confide in me and you confided in Jen, and Jen spread it to the group, and also you and Jen aren't even on good terms right now, but
Yep,
you didn't want to talk to me. So I mean, it's
yep.
kind of almost like her, not like karma, I don't want to say that, but like, that's how the cookie crumbles,
Yeah, it's
So
like it's like the get back. It's like,
yeah.
okay,
And then
like
without me even getting my hands dirty.
yeah, it's like, oh well, you didn't tell me your alleged best friend, but you told this other girl when I've been out here, because this is the thing. Lisa was going hard for Meredith and was just like, "You're not.
Hard.
This isn't true. This isn't right." And when it turned out to be true, you could see it on Lisa's face. She was like, "What?" You could tell she was just so taken aback.
Hmm.
And so I think that's why Lisa has aligned herself now more with Jen because she's just like, well, you didn't tell me. So do we really have this alliance? Are we really this close? Like Jen was actually the one telling the truth the whole time when you were the one who was
Yeah.
lying to me.
Yeah.
So I think
One
that's
thing I
kind of
will
how
say,
Lisa took it. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. And I do like Jen's vulnerability.
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
her.
me
That
too.
she's, talking about her divorce and everything like that. Because, like I say, on these reality shows, that's what we want to see. We want to know that's what you're going through. We want to see what's happening. So I hope she keeps it open with I'm pretty sure she's going to give us, I can't talk about the case or I can't talk about this. But I
Mm-hmm.
still hope that, they are, letting us see a little bit of that, and at least she can talk about it and things like that. But I do love that she's talking about it with her marriage. I agree with you guys. I think he's been checked out. He looked like he was checked out last season, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know how they do. To be a housewife, you gotta be a housewife. So it's like you
Mm-hmm.
gotta have a husband. You gotta have, or at least put on that image. You know what I mean? They could have had an agreement. We saw what happened, with the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Adam and Latoya, and that didn't work out. So she got demoted to a friend of the show, allegedly, or whatever. So I'm pretty sure, when you're coming on the Housewives, you want that image, you want that look, you want that I have money, I have wealth, I have friends, I have everything, which happened with her situation, honestly. So
Yeah,
mm, now we got a
yeah.
new house. I was checking out everything. I was like, oh,
I
you got a new
know.
house? Oh, 2.0, do we?
2.0.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that lease look
Hmm.
like?
I
Yeah.
know. Let's see
But
what's
I
going on
heard
now.
that they have houses, but like either like the cul-de-sac that they live in or the community they live in wouldn't allow them to film, and that's why they all rent places out to film in. I heard that because what's
Mm.
her face also rents a house, Meredith, to film
Yes, yes,
because
yes.
she rents her home too. So I don't know. I don't know. I
I
think the
could
only
believe that
people.
because of how that area is. I really could believe that. I
Yeah,
do. You
me
know.
too. Me
Because I
too.
think it was another show kind of like that. I think Seeking Sister Wives, maybe somebody was out there as well, and they, it was something like that as well. I think you have to really like have your own like ranch or something, but that I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I'm excited for the season. I'm ready to see what they're gonna bring. I
Me
think, oh,
too.
I cracked up laughing with the whole "I don't want none of your juice" thing. I think Mary is just funny. She's gonna
That
give us
was
that little bit of comedy.
that was funny. She was like, "That's not juice. It's a choice." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Okay, Mary." I was like, "Okay, fine. I have to give credit where credit is due. Thank you,
yeah,
Mary."
yes, yes. Because she didn't want to say it. She almost was like, you know what? Never mind. Just listen. I'm gonna say it. Like if that's not juice.
She
I'm
was
like,
like,
oh,
She's like, "I'll let one of my voices tell you." Here.
yeah. I'll let one of them tap in for me. That's probably
I
what she
know.
did.
I'll let one of my voices tell you. Oh,
Mary
Mary.
is
Oh,
super
Mary.
funny. Yeah. So I'm excited for the season, so I'm definitely gonna be watching.
Me
I'm gonna be on
too.
point with it. I love it. So I love
Yeah,
the
I'm
girl. So
excited for
and I
the
love
season.
Whitney too. Whitney is absolutely my favorite. She's been my favorite from last season. Yeah, I know.
Wait,
Whitney's my favorite.
tell me your thoughts on Whitney, because to me, this episode, Whitney to me was a hottie mess.
Really?
It was too much with the shots, and like she just seemed really
I think it was
insecure.
editing.
You think it was edit? We can't
I'm
blame
gonna say it was
editing.
editing. I know. But I just feel like I think she's fighting between that like I'm still young because she's only what 34 and his
She's
like oldest child is
34.
like 29.
Mm-hmm.
I think she wants to come off as the kind of like that cool mom, but
Cool
also it still
mom.
is her. You know what I mean? But like I mean, honestly, I expected that from her because she's younger, than him, and the kids are closer to her age. I'm pretty sure she doesn't even feel like a mom, to them. I know she probably feels like we're friends, we're all hanging out, but I just, bang your dad. So I think that's just what it is. But I like her. It was a little too much. I didn't understand the cake situation. If it's gone the first time, it's gone. Literally. She was
She
scraping the
was really
candle off
gonna
the
she
wall.
was really gonna let them eat that. She
Yeah, she
really
was.
that was nasty. She
She
was
was.
wasted. She was blackout. She was
She
blackout.
was wasted. Yeah,
You
she
saw
was.
how many shots they took? I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
Oh my,
she was
I
like
think
a
it's
shot
just
for
because it
this,
was
shot for
just like
that.
maybe I don't know. I'll ride with you. We'll say it was editing, but it was a lot of
Just a
shots.
little bit of editing. Yeah, I'll say that. It was a little bit of editing. Like I was trying to think in my mind,
Like
how long
hopefully
have they filmed this kitchen
it
scene?
wasn't that quick. I think
Yeah,
that's what
but
seemed so alarming, where it was like shot, we need another shot, two more shots, and I was just like, wait, stop,
yeah,
you're gonna like drown or something.
yeah. But I definitely think that she was still wasted, honestly,
She was
because I was
wasted.
after she dropped the cake the first time, it should have been done. And then the fact that you picked the cake up and still you needed to hold that with two hands. You picked it up with one hand again and again. Like
Where are the plates?
exact. I was like, girl, you're gonna drop. I looked at. I said, girl, you're gonna drop it again. Like literally, like she was wasted, But I think at that point, they're like, we're at my house. We're having a good time. It's family. It's friends. Or whatever. And
Whatever.
pretty
Let's
sure her
take
husband's
runs.
just gonna
Yeah.
be out anyway. So and I
Yeah,
think he's
that's
trying
true.
to keep up. Honestly, I don't think he. I don't know. I have to see how this plays out because I feel like he's trying to keep up. I think he might be. I mean,
The
I think
husband?
he's gonna get. Yeah, I think he's gonna get a little too tired out. Kind of soon
Yeah.
little, I think she's still going to be in her party mode. I think maybe the only thing that might slow her down a little bit is because she has young children.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks like, he ain't trying to be up taking all these shots with you, girl. He
No,
don't look
he's
like
not.
he's trying to do all
And
that.
what was
Mm-mm.
that promo? Were they in couples therapy and she made some comment about like I need sex as much as you do or something?
I was wondering that was it
Right? Like what
couples
was
therapy
that? It
or
was like
what? Yeah,
I think it
something.
was couples therapy.
Well, I'm always here for couples
Yeah.
therapy. I think it's
Me too.
helpful, but like she said that, I mean, then again, listen, honey, you married an older man. He's like 50, or you married an older man, baby. So there's some things that he's gonna have to deal with you, and that vice versa, you're gonna have to deal with him. So if he's
Yep.
tired and can't get it like he could, then you just might have to figure it
Purple
out.
pill
He's oh,
purple pill
do
it
what you
up.
gotta do. There you go. You know what I'm
Pop a
saying?
purple
Crush it in his
pill.
drink. Do what you gotta do.
Not crush
Something,
it in the drink.
something. Get him ready. Because you married an older man, and 9 times out of 10 this is what happens. So if you love him and
Yes.
you meet him halfway.
Ooh, Derby Diva Joanna, thank you for reminding me. The blowjob comment.
I
Remember
was
when she
trying to
was just
understand that.
like
Yeah, with the water bottle.
with the water bottle, she was like, I can make my own money, so I have to do this
I'm
for the
sorry.
rest of my
I
I was
was
just
like,
like, girl. You
That's
need to
not a
stop.
good thing. Yeah,
You just called
I couldn't
yourself a
believe she did that.
prostitute. You literally
Exactly.
just called yourself a prostitute. So now anybody who says you, because they both are married, so you cheated on your husband with a married man
Yep.
for money. That's
Yep.
what you just said.
Yep.
So
I was like,
you
girl,
did it to
is that how
yourself.
you got him? Like, is that what you're?
Is that how you got
I was like, why did
exactly?
she say that? I couldn't believe she said that. I was like, I like her. Why did she say that? Put that water bottle down. What are you doing? No, not
And you
on
know what?
TV.
Now that I think about it, because I had forgotten she was that messy. Maybe that was the energy with the sons, because it must be really hard to be the children of of parents who the father cheated on the
She
mother,
did. Yep.
left the mother, and then married the woman he cheated on her with, and then now she's
Hmm.
like, let's take a bunch of shots while I look half naked.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
I
It
had
has to be some type
forgotten.
of balance. I
I
think she
forgot
feels
about
like, yeah,
that. I forgot
yep. I
about
kind of
that.
did too. That's super funny because when you
That's
think about that,
that's
it
what
makes
that
so
energy.
much
That's
sense.
what that
Yeah,
energy was. Because remember, I was like,
yeah.
it just seemed wrong. Like it just seemed like she was trying too hard, and
What
they
if they
weren't
met?
really
Like, how did
checking
they
for
meet?
her.
I think she said they met in
Work.
church.
No
Oh,
work. I think it was.
work. It
I
was
think it was.
work.
I think it was work. I think they met at work. He was married and she was married. They both cheated, and then they both divorced their
Yeah,
spouses and then
I
got married
remember
to
they
each other.
cheated.
And that's why they got kicked out of the church.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
That's why they got kicked
Wow.
out of the church. Oh,
Taking a risk.
Derby Diva. Look at this. Look at this comment, girl.
That's why I was thinking, like, where did they meet? Did the sons bring her over and like meet my friend Whitney and
They met her when at a son's birthday party. She was a guest.
maybe, and maybe he came to pick his kids up and she was outside. Who knows? I don't know.
Yep.
Wow, that's something. So that's what
Yep.
I'm saying. I'm going to say how strong is this marriage? How strong is this love?
The
I
way
hope
you,
the counseling works
how
because
you, what is it? What's that saying? How you lose them the way you got them, or you, yeah, something
yep,
like
how you
that
got them is the way you lose them. Yep,
is the way you lose
exactly.
them. So it's like
So
if you, maybe he has a new secretary or a new
yeah,
assistant or a new hot thing, and maybe
he's
that's
gonna
why
have to
he's
keep
not laying it down
gonna
on
have to keep
her.
going.
Getting new, she's 34,
Ooh,
which is
maybe
so young. But you know what I'm
so
saying? Just like the
young.
whole stigma, like maybe he wants a newer
Hmm.
model.
Yeah. And I mean, how many
Hmm.
kids he already had? He had like maybe what, four sons? I feel like four, three kids, three sons, I think.
He
And
had
then
at
he
least
has
three sons who are like full adults now, and then
full adults now.
and then I think they
Like,
have like two
think two.
kids. I think they
Yeah,
have
a
two,
daughter and a son.
a daughter
So
and a
like
son,
that's easy and early for him, especially if his older ones are done. He can find a newer model and test drive
easily.
that until it goes. Yeah. So
Easily. And honestly, it's like, what can she really say? Like you didn't have any sympathy for his wife.
nope,
So why would you want think that somebody should have sympathy for you? Not that two wrongs make a right, but karma is real.
it's really real.
Karma is
And
really,
my
really
thing is, if
real.
you were divorcing your wife and you were divorcing your husband anyway, why did it take you to cheat? Like, why did you cheat? Won't you just say I'm not happy, or even I'm want to date other people, or whatever the case may be? Get out of that marriage completely
Yeah,
and then be with each other. Why do you have to cheat
exactly.
to say that? Like that is and then you have these grown children. And then like the age difference, everything. Literally, no.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm
Everything.
surprised that the kids really, she probably has to be that like really, really cool mom. You know what I mean? She's not, I mean, and not even mom. She has to be that friend because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they won't take her serious as a mom anyway. Like, really?
No, they don't. No, the way
Really?
they were looking
No.
at her was just like
Already, yeah.
they're like, hey, whatever, you know
Already.
what I mean? And I'm sure that was really tough. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how I would feel if I was a kid and now all of a sudden this person who's like almost my age was cheating with my father, and then he divorced my mother, and now he's with her.
Wow. Yeah, it's
And
something.
we're supposed to be kiki and taking shots.
Yeah.
Hey,
I have
Kaniko.
a coworker who is she said her parents are in like an open marriage
Okay.
and they've been married for years. I'm like, okay, so we asked like kind of how was that? And she said, well, her old best friend used to date her dad. I'm like, how was that? Yeah, we were like, so she said she didn't have a problem because she kind of knew. that they liked each other or were into each other before it started, but they're not friends anymore because she said her friend doesn't know the boundaries of not talking to me about dating my dad, but they would still date.
Well, that
So it's
wouldn't be
like
the
at the
reason
end of
why
the day,
she's a better woman than me because
that's what I said.
that would not have been the reason why.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
oh
weird.
my
It's
god.
that's weird to
Oh,
me. I don't know how comfortable I would feel you dating my dad and you're my friend and you want to hang out with me and then you're like, hey dad, like I don't know. Like, it's just
they would never be no.
yeah.
I
But
would
she said
never
she
be
was
okay with
totally
that.
comfortable with it. She was totally comfortable. She said her parents are completely honest with each
Are
other
they
and they're
still
open and
are her and are the friend and the dad still dipping it and doing it?
I'm not sure. I think she said no, but after they were stopped being friends, they did. So yeah.
And I'm also side eyeing the father. You nasty, mister. You
I mean,
nasty. There's a world of women out there. You had to pick your daughter's friend. That to me just seems a little too incestuous, a little too close to home,
it just
a little too by proxy. Like I can't get my daughter, so I'm gonna get a friend. I know it sounds gross and nasty, but you got to think about how people think. Like
yeah, that's true.
you're going for your daughter's friend. That's too close to
Close,
home.
yeah.
Is
That
it
is,
is it
I wouldn't know
is
how
it
to
a
trust my friend to
proxy?
tell her things, or like it's just I
I
don't know.
wouldn't know how to trust my father anymore after that.
Yeah, that's same thing. But I guess because the mom's okay and they're open to these open relationships, it's not a problem. I don't know.
Danny,
Different.
Danny, I'm not loving all this Whitney
Oh
bashing.
no, I love
Oh,
Whitney. No,
Danny.
wait, Danny, Danny, I
Oh,
love
Danny, we
Whitney.
love you.
Whitney is
We
my
love
girl.
Whitney too. We're just having a good kiki. We're not bashing Whitney.
Yeah,
And
Whitney
we
is
love you,
absolutely
Danny. We
my
love you
favorite.
too.
Yes.
And we
Yes,
love you
I
too,
love Winnie. I
Danny.
love
Yes.
when she came. I love when a woman, she can come on or anyone come on and kind of own their thing. So that's one thing that I did love about her. I love that she
Mm-hmm.
was like swinging on poles and doing her thing. She was like, whatever, I'm
Me
still going to
too.
be who I am. And I love that. Instead of someone like really faking a lifestyle and oh this and oh that, that's not giving us the reality that we want, even though we know we're there to entertain you.
Exactly.
I was on the Candace husband Chris's live one night and I'm always in the lives, girl. And he was really
Yes,
receptive. He was really receptive and talking to me and talking to
that he
everyone,
was really
answering.
receptive.
He was answering everyone's questions literally. Like he was a trooper that night, and like they were giving him them questions about Giselle. I was getting them in. I had questions, but I didn't want to get kicked off because Candace blocked me one time. So I said, I want to still ask my questions. So like he was saying things like you guys got to realize it's a show, it's for entertainment, it's this, it's that. I'm like, yes, I get that, but if it's quote unquote a reality, we still want to see the reality. Like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be real. Like I get you saying it's only for entertainment for you guys, but you're portraying that. Don't say that. Say it's we're going to give you. Don't say like, oh, this is our
Hmm.
real lives and in the confessions like this is real. No, say we're here to entertain you. It's the reason why you guys won't say that. So I get that, but
Exactly.
we're
Mm.
expecting real.
We're expecting real. And to the point you made earlier, which is so true, Candace and Chris, in between the shows, they are blah, 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 blah on social media. They're going in on Twitter. They're going in on Instagram. They are going against bloggers, YouTubers. They're going against fans who say anything they don't like. So if this is
Yep.
all for entertainment, if this isn't your real life, keep it as a job. Do what the
Yep.
Giselles and Robins and the Kenyas do. They're not out here on social media having Twitter battles with people. They clock in, they clock out. They know the assignment. They go to their job. The show airs.
Yep.
They'll do paid promos like Watch What Happens Live and the
Yep.
chat and interviews. But they're not
And be
out
done.
here
Yep.
and be done doing lives and Twitter beefs.
After live,
They
yeah,
keep it
and
as a
don't.
job. So Chris
Yep.
coming out here and saying that is so hypocritical. It's just like the fact that you're actually even on a live talking about it's not real, it's for entertainment is hypocrisy right there. Why are you even on
Girl,
a
he was
live?
on live for a nice minute. He had his drink and everything, girl. He
They
was on live for a
stay. They
nice
stay on lives.
minute.
They stay doing
Yes,
Twitter
he was
beefs.
answering a lot of questions. I mean, they were coming in. He was like, I'm trying to keep up with your questions, guys. There wasn't a lot
Yup.
of people in there, but because he was answering, I was like, I'm gonna ask what I want to know. I asked about
Yeah.
Giselle, and he seemed like he didn't have any problem. I even asked him would they be into doing couples counseling? He said no.
Okay. Yeah. He said no?
So he said no. He said, I know that we can me and Candace talk. He kept on owning that they talk bad to each other, but they know each other and they yeah. Yeah, because everyone was coming for him about that. I also asked him, does he feel like Candace should have had his back when Giselle said that about that? And he was just like, hmm. He was on Instagram Live. I don't think no one gave him any super chats.
Thank you, Sam.
He had like 30 people in there.
Yeah. So Derby Diva said it's not for all entertainment. Nope, that's a cop out. They kill me saying that it's just for entertainment. Then why is the show called Real Housewives? Exactly. It's not just for entertainment. And why do they take it so personal? If it's not real, why do you take it so personal? Just like Sam is saying, if it's not real, then why do you wish death on someone and they died? Right. If it's
Exactly.
not real, it's like if you are an actor and you play a role in a movie and people don't like your role in the movie, you don't go on Twitter bashing them and wishing death on them and
Exactly.
doing all
Because
this
it's a
stuff.
job. Yep.
It's a job, it's not real. So if it's not real and it's just a job and all this stuff, why do you take it so personal?
Absolutely.
Because
And
your
just what you
real
said,
life
that's
is
what got
showing.
me.
Your
Yep.
real
And
life
that's
is
I
showing, and
said to
that's why you're
her,
so pressed.
exactly. And
That's
that's
why you're so
exactly, Sam,
pressed.
exactly what you said is exactly what I said to Candace
Yep.
in her live. I said, you need to take accountability because you
Hmm.
wish death on a blogger and things like that. And she blocked me right after that.
Of
So
course
that
she
to me
did,
is like,
because she can't take
exactly.
feed. She can't take. She
Mm-mm,
can't look in
mm-mm.
the mirror and take constructive feedback. If
And
everybody is
she would
telling you
improve so
something,
much better if she would.
so much better.
She don't want to listen, him or her. It was a lot. He was on live all night. He was refilling his drink. He was feeling it, girl. Feeling it.
See,
Yeah.
and that's why she gets on national TV and clowns the hell out of him. She clowns him. You're riding my
I mean, he was
coattails.
answering
You don't
every
make any
question.
money. Chris, you got too much time on your hands.
Yeah. He was defending
Go.
Giselle. It was crazy.
He was defending Giselle.
He kept on saying, he said they, after one episode or something that they did, they all went out to dinner. It was a scholar, Robin, Giselle, and Candace and him. And he said, and Giselle daughters were there. And he just kept on saying, like, Giselle daughters are so smart, and they had to be at the kitty, the quote unquote kitty table. And I like
Yeah.
sat with them because I'm like, cool. And at first I was like, you don't need to be sitting with these girls,
You
but
don't need
okay.
to sit with children,
So,
but go ahead.
but okay. So he was like, yeah, I sat with them and, talking to her daughters. They're really smart. They're really good girls. And Giselle's amazing mom and everything. But we're like, but she's on TV acting in act, and he was just like, well, you guys got us things for entertainment and Giselle's not a bad person. And, she's really a good person. I mean, I was like, okay. And I even
Mm.
asked him, I said, do you think that, Candace and her mother, Miss Dorothy, should go, to any counseling? And he said to me, sit with D. I'm not going to answer that question. I'm gonna steer away from that question. Yeah. Yep.
Well, Chris, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you have a
There
problem with
you
the
go.
way Candace's mom treats her, you're a mirror. You treat Candace the same way her mom treats her, and Candace treats you the same way her mom treats her.
Yeah. It was something. I was like,
It's a
wow. He was.
cycle.
Yeah. But I couldn't believe he was defending Giselle. That was the main thing. Like he was, because
So
everyone had something to
weird to
say
me.
about that. So we apparently they have a great friendship, and her Candace and everyone is so good. Yeah.
I'm calling BS on this. I
Me too.
feel I feel
I
like this
was
is a
too. I
scene
think he was
Tom
saving
made.
face. Yeah, because I asked him a
Exactly.
question. I said, and he didn't answer that when I said, "Do you think that he's?" Oh, this is what he said. It drove me crazy, but I kind of agreed with him a little bit. He
Okay.
said, "Well, everyone always says Giselle doesn't talk and doesn't say this, and she badger." No, because I kept on saying everyone kept on saying she attacking people marriages. She attacking people. He said, "I don't think she attacked people marriages," and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "She does it." He was like, "You gotta listen." People, everyone thinks she attacks people. All she does is ask questions, and people can do the same for her, but they don't. He said people can ask her questions, but they don't push and push and push like Giselle push and push and push for everyone else. They don't do that for her. And I kind of agreed, like they really don't. I said, well, then again, I do because you have a scholar. She kind of pushed, but she shut her down when the scholar asked a question. She was like, not in front of whatever. And then
Yep.
did it get brought up again? No, until she was ready to talk about it at the whole Mia little luncheon. She really wasn't. But how many episodes was that after that she decides, oh, well, now I'm indulging it, and now you're in front of Karen, want to indulge in it, but before you didn't want to because Karen was there. So I was like, I
Yep.
think I kind of disagree with that. But he was like, she doesn't attack people marriages. She doesn't do that. I'm like, everyone's like, she does though. He was
Chris
like,
is
no, people don't
delusional.
push her. He said people don't push her enough. to kind
Chris
of pick and pry.
Chris is
That's the
delusional.
reason why.
Chris
Yeah.
is, Chris Chris is delusional. And the thing is that Giselle doesn't push and pry. She does ask the question. She doesn't push and pry. The difference is the people that she asks answers.
Yep.
That is what the difference is, Chris.
Yep.
The difference is that when Giselle gets asked a question, she
She
deflects,
doesn't answer.
she lies, she doesn't answer, she changes the subject, she blames Karen, she blames everybody in the world. And so people just get frustrated and they're like, you know what, forget it, Giselle. Or she has a complete meltdown like she did at the reunion. So it's not
Yep.
that Giselle pushes and pries to get people to talk. The people are there actually doing their jobs.
They're open. Yeah,
They're
open. And she is
open.
not.
And
She's
Giselle is
completely
not
hidden.
open. It's not that Giselle can't ask questions. That's a part of the job. It's that she doesn't answer them. When other people get asked questions, they answer the question.
I also said to him, I think that
That's
everyone
what the
expects
difference is.
more. Yeah, they expect more if she's supposed to be your
Yeah.
friend. You know what I mean? Then why are you bringing this? If you really care, why are you bringing this to the cameras? We've hung out, we've talked, outside, but now you wait till the cameras turn on and you're like, so what's going on? Is he cheating?
Yeah.
It's like, but before when the cameras weren't rolling and we were sitting here talking about nothing for 25 minutes to an hour, it was no conversation about that. So they're
Yeah.
expecting more from their quote unquote friend. So
And
like
it's
that's
the
what I was explaining
lies.
to him.
And it's
Yeah,
the
that's
lies
what it
for
is.
me. She continuously gets caught in lies. She straight up, allegedly in my opinion, straight up lied on that podcast, being like, I talked to Wendy about the Eddie rumors on the phone before filming. So I did already go to her. But then we saw in the last episode, she said the only reason why I'm apologizing is because I should have came to you first. So you said it right there. You did not go to her first, which proves that you were lying on that podcast trying to save face. And Wendy came out and said that's a lie. That conversation never happened. And I believed Wendy from day one. And you go look at the footage. She said I should have came to you. If she had,
I believe
that
Wendy without her even saying that. Yep.
Exactly. If that conversation actually had happened, trust and believe Giselle would have been like, I already called you. I was respectful. I did off camera. I don't understand. But she didn't.
And it would have showed up in filming. Yep. That same night when and then on top of that, Wendy's reaction would not have blown up that way if she said that. She probably would have been like, why are you spreading to them if we already talked? Why are you telling her to talk to me then? That's how it would have went. She wouldn't have blown up so big like that. It would have been a whole different issue. If you spread it to the girls to come to me when we've already talked, but we never talked. Why
didn't you come to me? Mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And Jizzy is nothing but a liar. She gets caught in lies.
Yeah.
Robin was trying to lie. She was trying to blame production and editing, and that turned out to be a lie too. It's just a whole hot mess.
Yeah, it's a whole hot mess.
But I'm excited for this season, though.
Me too. I am.
Fire. I think it's gonna be fire.
Me too.
It better be.
I think this is gonna be hot. I really do. I think it's gonna be hot. I think they're gonna have a lot of good stuff going on. I'm super excited. I was ready for this to come back.
Me too.
I didn't think Mary was coming back, but I'm here for it.
I'm here for
my favorite, but we need that little quirky kind of thing. We need her talking to herself every now and then. So I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
We need the quirky. We know all this stuff. And the thing, and I want to be clear, I don't dislike Mary as a person. It's the same thing with the Jen Shah stuff. It's
right.
I do think that Mary exploits her congregation, and I do think that she did some fraudulent stuff with her grandmother's estate. Because they had the receipts, the family members came out all day long. So that's, to me, is what really is sticky for me with Mary. And I think because she uses religion also kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Is why people don't get attacked, why she doesn't get attacked so much. But at the same, it's just nothing just adds up right. Your grandmother could have did so many things to keep the money to you versus you marrying him, honestly. Like, come on now, really. Especially if she was a soul and she did everything. No, I think they sneakily tried to, just like it was put out. I definitely think so. And then the recordings and all that other stuff. That's your voice on those recordings, baby. That's you. So it's just a mess. It's a mess.
It's a hot mess.
Hot mess. But I'm gonna be here watching it all.
Me too. We will be here geeking about it. Yes. Thank you
All
so
right, so
much,
I'm gonna get back in the
Simplicity.
chat.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, sweetheart. Bye. Oh, that was so much fun. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Derby Diva says, I believe Wendy. Me too. I'm Team Wendy. I believe Wendy 100%. Hey, Sam. She goes, I like when Jamal said we will all see Chris Samuels dragged up by security, and it never happened. Another lie told by Giselle. I think Giselle told Jamal that, and Jamal repeated it, and then it turned out to be a lie. Hey, Derby Diva. She goes, I love me some Mia. Me too. I love me some flip-flopping Mia all day. I really like Mia. Hey, Young Rich. Mother Mary got me wanting to watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Yeah, she's a wackadoodle, but good TV. Hey, Sam. Let's just say the character that Mary plays on the show is entertaining. She is entertaining, and she has some really good one-liners. I'm not going to front. Hey, Sumai. She goes, I think there's some early trauma with Mary. Yep. I agree. I'm just going to leave it that, but I think you're 1,000% right, Sumai. 1,000%. Sam says, I think Mary actually believes her own craziness. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mary and Jen, in two different ways, both drink their own Kool-Aid. They both have fully committed to their own delusion of their life and who they are and what they do. I think Jen and Mary both believe the bullshit as their own reality and as the own truth. That's what I think. I think in their minds, like what they're saying, I think in their minds, they actually believe to be true, if that makes sense. Hey, Derby. She goes, Mary had better lawyer up. The feds are on her tail. They all better lawyer up. Allegedly, we know Mary allegedly is doing fraudulent stuff with the church and the money and the businesses. Allegedly, Whitney's husband is a Ponzi scheme person. They all need to make sure their house is in order. And that's the thing. And that's why I think they went off on Meredith. It's like, well, if you're going to snitch on one, then you would snitch on all. And now you have a different type of microscope under us. Again, you're on reality TV, but think about how many people are. Remember the Taylor from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Her husband was a white collar criminal, and he ended up, unfortunately, the S word. You know what I mean? He took his own. You know what I mean? Because it all came out. He was trying to front like he had this lifestyle, and it was all fraudulent. And when he could no longer do it, he ended up. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people go on these reality shows thinking and believing and drinking their own Kool-Aid and thinking that they won't be found or caught out. So they all better be worried because the feds are watching, CPS is watching, the IRS is watching. They're all watching. It's got to be careful. Hey, Sam, she didn't deny the courting. She just said they were out of context. Exactly. Scary. It's scary. Hey, Darian. He goes, Team Wendy. Yes, we had Team Wendy over here. Hey, Derby Diva. Jim Jones juice from Mary and Jen. Yeah, Mary says she didn't like friendship juice, but she definitely likes the Jim Jones juice. They have drank their own Kool-Aid. They believe in their own delusion. Hey! Shout out to Candace from the candy shop. She says, hey, Candy Cane. Shout out to Candace. How are you, sweetheart? Thank you for coming through. From one candy to another. Lawyer up, child. With the shots. Yes, they better all lawyer up. For real. Like, I don't believe I have anything. I mean, I don't, but that's the thing. You just never know. That's why I would never do reality TV or anything like that. Because, like, who knows? I don't know. Hey, Sumai, Russell drank the Jim Jones juice. Sad. Oh, yeah. His name was Russell. Yup. Aw. Hey. Sumai says, hey, Candy, to the candy shop. Hey. And she says, hey, Sumai. Hey. Woo. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much, Candy Gaines. Woo. All right, my beautiful Candy Canes. We have been on here for an hour, 45 minutes. We knocked out the first episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's going to be a great season. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you won't miss a beat when we are in here talking about this stuff. Like the channel and share it with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Yes, Derby Davis says I would never do reality TV. Me either. Me, I don't want that smoke. Like, I am a very self-aware person. Like, being on YouTube is like nerve-wracking enough. I don't want to be on reality TV. I'm not built for that smoke. I know myself. I am not built for that smoke. I would not put myself on reality TV. No, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Derby Diva says this was so much fun. So much fun. Yes, it was. I love my candy canes. We're doing it out here. Yes. I love you guys. This was so much fun. Shout out to Sip with D. Shout out to my mod, Miss T. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for holding me down. If you're watching this on the replay, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And don't forget to comment. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the live. Let me know your thoughts on the episode, on the show. And yeah, thank you guys. Have a great rest of your hump day. And as always, take care of yourself and take care of each other. I love you, Candy Canes. I will see you tomorrow for some Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love